Charlie, you won! Now come inside my chocolate factory. It's all for you!
Hello, welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to another episode of this little series I'm doing about my favorite jokes and why I love jokes and I love comedy. This episode today is about
Taylor Tomlinson.
She's one of my favorite comedians of all time. I think she's fantastic. She's fairly new on the scene. She's like, the special that I'm pulling this from, she was like 25 in it. So right now she's got to be like 26, 27, if that. She's super young. She had like a writing job at Conan. She's fantastic, and I secretly love her so much. I have the biggest crush on her, and Taylor, if you're watching this, I love you. That sounds hyperbolic. Taylor, look at me. Hey.
I love you. Do you hear me? Awesome.
Anyway, but yeah, the special that came out, Quarter Life Crisis, she was 25 when she put it out, and I listened to a couple of interviews about how she put it together, and you know, when you're doing stand-up, your first special is like a culmination of all the work that you've done up until that moment, like your best stuff. So basically, that special was like 10 years in the making, so from the ages of like 15 to 25, you know, she was working on these bits. And I gotta tell you, it shows, because this special is so great because it has some of the tightest material. It has some of the tightest material that I've ever heard. The word economy is great. The delivery's fucking perfect. Every single joke feels like it's been whittled down. There's no fat on any of the bits. Sometimes comedians meander. Sometimes comedians don't get to the point. Every single joke is perfect. It's tight. The laughs per minute is fucking insane. It's just joke, 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 joke. Set up punchline, set up punchline, set up punchline. It's a great fucking special. One of my favorite specials of all time. So if you haven't checked out Taylor Tomlinson's Quarter Life Crisis, I highly recommend it. But the joke we're going to be talking about today is a joke that was featured on the podcast Good Ones, I believe, or Good Joke or something like that. Not all of it, but part of it. When she wants to have sex with a guy, she wants to make sure they're like a good person first. I don't want to spoil it, but it's a great joke, so let's go ahead and jump right into it.
I lost my virginity late. I lost it when I was financially independent. Yeah, I went through my bank statements. Like, I could afford to have a dick in me. Just, like, so responsible. All my other friends lost it under a Backstreet Boys poster in their mom's house, and I lost it under an IKEA painting that I purchased with a coupon.
That's a great example of a tag that isn't needed, but is so good. She already had the finished joke when she said, an IKEA painting that I purchased. She could have ended the joke right there, but then she goes, with a coupon. She knows that the first part's funny enough. Well, that's why there's that beat there. She lets the audience laugh at that part. And then she goes, with a coupon.
But I'm glad I was raised that way because it taught me how to choose sexual partners in a very responsible way, okay? Because when I was younger and I was waiting, I would tell guys, I'm not ready to have sex yet. Is that okay? And anytime guys were really cool about that decision, that just made me want to have sex with them more because there is nothing hotter than someone respecting your boundaries. You're just like, what? Take your pants off. Get over here.
Yeah, Taylor Tomlinson's cool, but have you heard of Brewmasters? They're a bar in Wilson. And they're a really good bar. They're a really cool bar. They have stand-up at it. But if you're a sports fan, you can also watch the big game on a projector screen at Brewmasters. So hey, if you like stand-up, sports, or beer, and who doesn't, am I right, fellas? Then come on down to Brewmasters in Wilson. They gave me money to tell you that. They sure did. All right, back to the video.
The hottest thing you can say to a girl is, hey, we don't have to do anything. Now we do.
That's another example of how she like embodies the bit, you know, because right away the joke is already like structurally perfect. She takes no time going from setup to punchline, and you can't even tell what's the punchline, what's the setup. She just keeps going. There's a joke. There's a joke. There's a joke. So the joke is already good. Like on paper, like you would laugh at that on paper. But then she embodies the bit. She goes, oh, now we do. Taylor Tomlinson knows herself well enough. She knows her sense of humor well enough to where not only does she write a good joke, but she knows how to tell her own jokes perfectly.
So I still do this as a sexually active adult. I pretend I'm not ready to have sex with someone new yet, just to make sure they're a good person first. I call it the gobstopper test. I go, oh, I'm not ready. Is that okay? He's like, totally fine. No worries at all. And I'm like, Charlie, you won! You did it! I knew you could, my boy. Now come inside my chocolate factory. It's all for you.
That is an appropriate applause break. That might be the dirtiest joke I have ever heard. About Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. The dirty double entendre. The fact that she's talking about consent when seeking sexual partners. Also, all of her material is very personal, which I think is fantastic. I think it's really, really cool that... I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. I'm not. Don't you hate when that happens? Yeah, a lot of her special was about, not necessarily coming of age, but like it's called Quarter Life Crisis. She's 25, and it's the growing pains that she's endured as a comedian up until the age of 25. So Quarter Life Crisis, all of her material is very, very personal. And I think that's a perfect example of what she's going through at her time in life. And that's just a fucking great joke. She said, come inside my chocolate factory. Gross, but I love it. So that was this episode. This was a shorter one. That's a quicker joke. But I hope you guys are enjoying this series. I plan to do a lot of these. So if you guys like this, leave a like. If you want to see more of these, please hit subscribe. If you want to let me know what kind of comics that you guys want to see jokes about, leave it in the comments down below. And love each other. Appreciate you.